Hello, this is Elena, and I'm back here again to record about the rejection wound and how we can actually find the positive, because there's always two or three even sides on the same coin. So with the previous video and transmission, I was explaining about the rejection wound and how it has influenced us subconsciously, unconsciously, with a deep programming that lies on the consciousness, the collective consciousness of all of us as human beings and star seeds. So with this video I wanted to actually tap into the positive side of things, and for those of you that have a very open heart chakra, a very open crown chakra, a very open third eye chakra, I'm pretty sure if you watched the previous video, you may have seen already the other side of the same coin, how this can be beneficial, how rejection in many aspects and self-rejection on an unconscious level can actually help us and direct us to something that is better for us. So this is the point of the positive side of the rejection wound. Sit with me, entertain this as a thought, and go along with this to find my perspective, to connect with my perspective and how we see things from a different point of view. So I explained on the previous video about how we end up rejecting ourselves in an unconscious way without even trying, either from the programming that is running since we were born, something that was installed as a belief because of our limited perception, or from previous lifetimes, how things add up, and even with the programming we have with Adam and Eve and all of these different sources of rejection, and how we can change that and create an abundant life, a life that feels in alignment. But let us talk today about how rejection can become positive, beneficial for our paths. So if you're working a lot with your crown chakra, seeing the signs, interpreting the signs that you receive, asking questions, praying for answers, which means that you are connecting with your divine self, you are connecting with the beauty of this universe, and you are with wide eyes open, with wide open eyes, okay? And you see how everything is beautifully orchestrated to bring you in a different alignment. And you continue to see how amazing this matrix is. You can get to be on a different level of alignment just by following the signs and asking more questions and receiving more answers, indications, signs, and breadcrumbs that lead you to where you are meant to be at each point of time. So, the rejection has also this positive beneficial side that gets you to be empowered. It empowers you to actually direct yourself in a more fulfilling path. So let's say, for example, with your logical, reasonable mind, okay, you are asking and you are searching for a job, a day job that is what you know how to do. It makes you feel comfortable and safe there. It makes you feel stable with your income, for example, the salary or whatever it is provided, and you get to feel creative, but still something is off, but it is what you know. You know how to do it, you know how to purchase this kind of jobs, actually, that's a wrong phrase, to actually go after this kind of jobs. You know how to be in that space of, yeah, this is my job, I know how to do it, but your higher self has a different idea for that, and it actually leads you to something. They lead you, your higher self and your guides are leading you to something more in alignment with whom you have become or with whom you are becoming. So you are applying for these jobs, several applications, and you are still trying to find that direction, like this is what I know how to do, this is where my expertise is, and this is what I will follow. Okay, so it starts with a rejection from one job, and you think to yourself, okay, that's not for me, or I may not be good enough, the self-torturing thoughts, or there might be something better for me out there, the more alignment thoughts. And you start applying, and you keep applying, and you keep being rejected, and you see this is the point where either you lose faith to yourself and you let that eat you up from within, or you start thinking there's something different, and you start searching within what will make you feel in alignment at this point of time. You're not sacrificing something. You're not sacrificing some stability. You're not sacrificing the knowledge you already have. You're not sacrificing anything at all, but you are led to something else. Not to mention that it is a stressful change, a stressful transformation that takes place. So in that space, if you are with eyes wide open and you are in a space of exploring, what is this? Why have I received so many rejections? Is there a different direction that I have to take now? Is there something else that I need to find, to explore for myself? When you take it from that perspective, you actually allow your crown chakra to be more open, to open up even more. You actually follow something very invisible, okay, your higher self, an invisible map with a compass, that it is what makes you feel better, even though it might be stressful, even though if it makes you feel I can't do this again, or I have done this too many times in my life. And this is where rejection can be beneficial, because you received it so many times in order to open up to something different, something better, something more in alignment with what you are becoming. And I'm saying what because your energies are shifting, you are receiving different activations, you are receiving missions from your higher self that will make you feel more in alignment with the purposes you came here to fulfill. And yes, it's plural, it's not just one purpose. So you are guided through rejection in something that is more beneficial, more in alignment with you. And yes, the beginning of that sometimes feels very uncomfortable, which is why we say, make the leap of faith, do something else, trust that the universe will provide for you, and it's not leading you to catastrophe or something bad for you, it is leading you to something more beneficial for you. And usually this is where we don't know anything. We don't know where we are headed, we have no vision, we have no clarity, and this is the point where you start asking questions and you open up your heart and your crown chakra and you receive also answers. And knowing that you are guided, divinely guided and protected with every step you take actually creates a huge difference of what you create and how you follow your guidance. And using your intuition is actually extremely helpful. So intuitively you will know the next step, the next step and the next step. It's like you're following breadcrumbs to something greater that you have no idea where it leads. You have no vision, no clarity, and you are blindly following every step to where you have to be next. Usually even those of us that have been on this path for quite some time now, and we have a different connection with spirit guides or seeing the future or co-creating our own experience from a more steady position. Even for us it is difficult many times, that because we don't have the full picture of things, we don't have the next steps in a greater scale, for example, and we have to trust even more. And trust for someone that already is connected is even more difficult to be applied. So taking that from the point of view that through COVID a lot of things changed, and it was a calling for the humankind to actually change everything. Absolutely yes, it takes time, it's difficult, and applying gratitude and just staying positive even in a toxic way isn't helpful anymore. So take whatever kind of rejection you have already received. In an unconscious way, it comes from your higher self. So you're being rejected because you are being redirected to something else that you have no idea so far what that is. And of course, let me go to this other perspective of things when it comes to rejections between us, between the connections we have with other human beings, with friends, with potential lovers, with potential partners, with any kind of rejection you may find actually in your path. Know that it is also a way, either you give it or receive it, it is a way for us to dissolve and complete contracts with each other, which feels a bit more painful when it comes to connection that is important to you, when it comes to something that really resonates with you, or it felt like home. Being in touch with someone, it felt like home. Okay, so this kind of energy, frequency, vibration, keep it. It doesn't mean that because the contract is being dissolved, you don't have that feeling anymore. The lesson is here to actually choose yourself above all else, above everyone else, to be happy and content with that choice. And remember that you don't actually lose anyone. Either way, we are all connected, we are all together on this journey, at this path now, with everything shifting. And whatever is meant to be for your highest good will actually come to your path again. But sometimes we have to dissolve and cut off cords with some people in order to grow, expand, and remember who we are in essence, learn more about ourselves, understand more of ourselves in the process, and figure out what we like, what we don't like, what we tolerate, what we don't tolerate. Usually that's the case for many of us. We will come back together for those of us that we have this alignment and mission to co-create things together. Still, we had to grow apart in order to learn who we are in essence, because when you stay in a connection that is not in resonance with you anymore and it is not helping you grow and evolve, at that point of time the balance is lost for both of the parties involved in this. So, leaving you with that, please reflect on how rejection has a positive side as well, how it actually can empower us, how it can direct us to something that feels more in alignment with us, how it can actually help us evolve. And when you have beliefs such as I'm divinely guided and protected, I manifest or I make choices for my highest good and the highest good of all, you are actually making choices and manifesting from a space of unconditional love, of trusting the plan that you can't fully see it at the moment, that you don't have full clarity of what is going on and why, and you get to be in a space of respecting yourself, learning to love yourself even more, and not following any rejection as part of an extra wound that you have to carry within you. So learning to trust and learning to decipher when a rejection is for your highest good, when a rejection is for something that doesn't feel in alignment or something that needs to be worked out in your beliefs in order to change your beliefs and change your actions and create a better quality of life for you. That is what we all need. Deciphering when it is beneficial, when it is not beneficial, what kind of actions we can take, how we can actually feel better within self and create from a space of contentment and wholeness. That is it for today. I hope this transmission helped you. I was being poked for many days to record the positive side of the rejection wound. Please let me know in the comments if this resonates with you, if you have reflected on examples in your life that are similar with what I'm explaining here, and how rejection can actually be beneficial, either it comes from self or from a source outside of you, and how it actually leads you and redirects you to something more in alignment with who you are. Love you and see you soon.